Hello everyone, in today's episode I'm going to talk about why a fabric ban is not the answer to my sewing/clothing problem. So if you would like to hear how I've worked this out, stick around. So everybody, bit of an odd suggestion there, isn't it, that a fabric ban is not the answer? I've been having a hard think, and today's episode is inspired by something I read in this book, but also by the fact that it's about to be Me Made May. It's like a week away, so I'm going to share with you in here my Me Made May pledge and also what has got me thinking. So let me start with explaining what happened. So about a week or so ago, I picked an outfit from my wardrobe which I've worn before, and I decided I wanted to wear it to work the following day, and I often do that, lay my outfits out the night before. It saves time in the morning. I get 5 more minutes in bed, and also I get the pleasure in the evening of choosing the jewellery, the outfit, the shoes, everything that go together, rather than it being a rush and when I'm tired and sleepy in the morning. So I chose it, I love it, I put it out, and when I got up in the morning I just didn't want to wear it. And I was trying to work out why, because I've worn it before. It's not that it doesn't feel comfortable on my body, because sometimes I do that. I pick an outfit and then I remember it doesn't make me feel great either about a certain bit of my body or the way it feels on my body, and then I don't wear it because I get ambitious and then I end up having like outfit regret or whatever later in the day. And I knew it wasn't that, so I started to think about what it was. And then I thought about when I was choosing that outfit and the challenges I'd experienced when I was trying to pick an outfit. So I picked a different outfit which I wore, and then I happened to be reading very close to the end of this book. And it is chapter 7. So chapter 7 is called hanger management. Now I wouldn't say hanger because it's the same word, and actually she addresses the fact that it's not the feeling when you're hungry, but managing hangers. And I know probably some of you, like myself, have seen this thing where you hang all the hangers, their heads one way, and when you wear it you turn it the other way. That's never worked for me because I've never not known what I have or haven't worn, and sometimes when I'm planning my outfit in the evening I'm picking an outfit that hasn't had a turn before the season is over. So I'm quite aware of sort of what has and hasn't been worn. And also because I document a lot of my outfits on Insta, I can go back there and I do genuinely scroll back for inspiration. So one of the things she asks in this chapter on page 134 is about sorting your clothes by the type of category. So workwear, activewear, loungewear, formal wear, going out, swimwear and beachwear, outerwear and accessories. And I was talking with someone in the virtual social the other day, and she was talking about the fact that since she's retired, her outfit is needs are very different, and she's still got in her wardrobe sort of all her work clothes, and they're taking up a lot of wardrobe space. And I was saying I've been through that, and if you haven't seen, watch my episode about creating a work from home wardrobe, because I was hanging on to all the things from when I was a head teacher, when I was front facing every day, and so my wardrobe wasn't working in the percentage of what I needed for me. So if I'm working from home 60-70% of the week, then my wardrobe needs to contain 60-70% work from home outfits. And if I go into the office 20% of my week, then I need 20% going out in the world outfits, and then I need, I've lost the maths now, another 20% which is evening / weekend wear, where I might go to a social or something like that. So I realised that my wardrobe wasn't containing the right percentage. So if you haven't realised or need to do that, that's a great bit in the book. That bit has kind of already worked for me, and it's quite interesting that Bex, of What Bex Sews, talks about how she doesn't like to wear what she wears to work elsewhere. I've been a bit more about blurring the lines, but I can completely understand that. She just asked you to think about ratio of old to new. That's quite interesting as a sewist, isn't it? But obviously then there's the what fits. I'm very, very much of the, if it doesn't fit me, it's coming out because it's taking up space. So something for me made to think about is, do your me mades fit you? And if they don't, are you going to put them away for now, or rework them, because it's pointless? And then she talks about which colours dominate your wardrobe. And she goes on to talk about looking at the colours, and she even suggests that you could. So this is a really interesting phrase. Wardrobe ethnography doesn't just focus on the individual items in your wardrobe, it considers the relationship between your clothes. If your wardrobe doesn't remotely subscribe to a specific colour palette, it might be difficult for you to create cohesive outfits. If it's not working, this could suggest you haven't been paying enough attention to how your mood alters when you wear certain clothes. So she asks to create a list and to sort of refine your wardrobe by the colours, and to almost sort your wardrobe by the colours that are in it, to have a look. And she's talking about all this sort of Venn diagrams of sorting, because she goes on to get you to sort by clothes that fit with who you feel you are now, clothes that sort of fit with who you want to be or you're becoming, and clothes that don't fit with your identity, and then sort of whittling it down. But what really sort of leapt out at me was this sort of, she was saying about only having like four main colours, core colours in your wardrobe. Now, I'm not suggesting I only have four, but I have had the opposite of what some people have, which is almost like too much colour and pattern that they don't work together. And that's why I've been doing a lot of plain, bold sewing, to have those unifying, like this green jumper, those unifying items. I was thinking about why, with the amount of colour in my wardrobe, why were the colours that I picked the other day to wear not working for me in terms of not wanting to wear it? And I suddenly realised that they didn't fit with the type of clothes I wanted to wear for how I feel in this season. Now, when I made my autumn winter plans, it was super clear that the colours that I were going for were the jewel tones. So like the deep reds, the sort of emeraldy greens, the purples, the mustards. And I really enjoyed my autumn winter wardrobe. I really enjoyed those colours all together. But I haven't done like a swap of my wardrobe yet, because it's still so cold. But what I realised what a weird sentence, sorry. What I realised is that whilst I still need warm clothes right now, because the other night it was 1 degree Celsius again, I don't want the jewel tones. I want spring colours. I want greens, pinks, lighter, fresher colours. And that's when my sort of ping moment went, that even though I love colour, even though my wardrobe is colourful, it wasn't the right colours for how I felt about spring. And I scrolled back on my Insta to what I wore last spring. And if you watch my spring planning episode, I talk about the fact that I noticed that I kind of was just still wearing the same clothes. And I used to work with someone who, by hook or by crook, at the Easter holidays, this is when I was in school, she would swap her wardrobe to her summer wardrobe. It didn't matter what temperature it was. It's like, nope, the summer wardrobe is coming out. And I've never been that kind of person, because I'm the kind of person that bare feet is not happening until it is consistently like 16 degrees Celsius or more. And I realised that if I'm going to get the most out of my spring wardrobe, it does need to be different from my autumn winter wardrobe, but it still needs to keep me warm. So whether it's the mood I want to feel in, whether it's the fact that this year we've had a lot of grey, rainy days, and that's made me want to use colour to make me feel like it's spring. I'm sat here now and my garden is beginning to feel like spring, and I love daffodils and tulips, and I noticed that I'm wearing pink nail varnish, and so I've done a radical thing. I looked at my wardrobe, and I'm going to put some video in now of me looking at my wardrobe, and I looked. It's still, however colourful you might think it still is very much those autumnal, cosy, bright colours. And then in a minute a video will come up, and I've done all of them, so you're just going to have the reality of what my drawers look like. They're generally quite organised, but every now and again I get a bit crazy. But and then I have taken out of my wardrobe, and you can see that in a video now, everything that's not in the spring colour palette I want. It's not that it's not appropriate for this time of year in terms of warmth or fit, or not that it doesn't fit me or I don't like it, because that's normally I have a big cull for that. This is literally, I've gone, right, I'm taking out all the autumn winter colours, or all the things that my brain associates with being autumn winter colours. So things that I love to wear, they're gone out of my wardrobe, they'll go in a bag and they'll go away, because I need to free up space in my wardrobe that all I've got left in there are the colours that fit with the mood I want to feel in right now. And the mood I want to feel in is crisp, clear, bright, light colours. And I'm not talking about wearing white, I'm talking about like more of a yellow rather than a mustard, more of a like a spring green rather than an emerald green, more of a sky blue. So a lot pinks, white like tops with pattern on. So everything else has gone out, and now I'm going to put a video in now of what's left. And then I'm going to disappear up in the loft, and I'm going to look at some of my summer items that could be worn now, bring some bits in, and then I'm going to work out the gaps. So my Me Made May pledge is to sew things in fabrics that help me with my spring mood, that fill gaps in my wardrobe. And for May, that might be not a lot of sewing, it might be a lot of outfit combining to find the gaps. And it might be looking at what I need to make and looking at the fabrics I've got, so that I actually sew the things for this season. Now, I know that for a lot of people, spring planning involves like lighter fabrics or lighter things. But I've looked at the weather for the next week. We're going to get in the UK, well, in this part of the UK, to the end of April with average temperatures about 11 to 13 degrees Celsius. So for my US viewers, we're talking like 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I mean, that makes nothing to me. I've just asked my electronic device, and that's what she's told me. So I need to spend Me Made May making sure that I don't keep sewing dual tones, and I sew the things for the gaps to inspire me to have a seasonally appropriate spring wardrobe. Because you know what, some years in April/May we get really warm weather and you can get out some of your summer items. But I think what I need to do is have a spring sort of mini wardrobe of warm but fresh things. I am going to look at what she said, because in that chapter she does say to pick 4 core colours and 3 accent colours, and then 4 neutrals. Well, I don't think there's much more than 4 neutrals, is there? She lists blacks, whites, greys and browns, so that is 4. But I suppose brown has a wide range, so does whites could go into the creams. I'm not, well, I say I'm not worried about the neutrals. I should be, I think. I consider leopard a neutral though, and so do lots of other people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think, what colours make me feel like spring? So I already know one is green and one is pink. So then I'm going to think, what are the other ones? I'm going to think, what are my accent colours that will go with them? I'm then going to sort through my fabric stash to pick those things and then plan the makes based around those gaps. So I will report back sort of several times through May on how this is going. I think the first report back will be the palette I've chosen, and then I will then share with you which of my clothes already have that. And it's not just going to be the me made. I'm going to look at what exists in my wardrobe, because it's the me made maybe is what will I plan on making going forward that will go with that. And then I'll be able to show you what I've planned and created. So how will I sum up my me made May pledge is I will select fabrics and sew projects that fit with the palette for how I want to feel at this time of at the season or the mood that I'm in. Well, that's a mouthful of a pledge, isn't it? But I think it's really important, and if you've watched any of my other vlogs where I've like reviewed or planned my wardrobe, I don't do monthly ones. I do them by season, because I can't be sure each month what I would necessarily sew in, and I think a season is a better, like a wardrobe you need for a season, not for a month. And I think I've been on the journey of working out why I haven't worn some things. I've been on the journey of working out what patterns to sew that really fit with the lifestyle I have. Now I need to make sure I select fabrics that fit with the sort of seasonality of how I feel, and recognizing that having a colourful wardrobe is not one thing. It can be different palettes for different seasons. So, well, I hope you found that interesting. As I've said already, highly recommend this book. The things that I have thought about since reading this, I'm sure it will be different for different people, but for me, asking myself again and again, why didn't I wear that? Why didn't I want to wear that? Why have I worn it before and I don't want to wear it now? Why am I feeling this way? And realising that I can feel different ways at different times of year. I can feel different ways for different events, and it's having the right fraction of things to fit with the way I live for right now. That can change, but for the way I live right now, and also the right colours that I want to reach for this time of year, in the right proportion. So sewing like some bright fresh spring comfies is a good thing that I probably need to do. I will need to review those, because sometimes you can end up associating clothes with that really like particular moment or in time, and that may well come round again. So I'm looking at some of my comfies and going, I associate you with being super snuggly in the winter, and I love that feeling, but I don't want to associate that now. I want to feel warm right now, but I want to feel like I'm sort of bursting into spring, and that doesn't associate right with me, but that will come back round again, and almost the joy of getting that back out when we come back towards that weather. I'd be really interested if you swap your wardrobe over. Mine started out of a necessity of lack of room, but actually has been really helpful to me, because it means that I do regularly question what's in there, and I do regularly review it before I put it away as well, because I'm not going to put it away if I haven't worn it. And also I do want to do some fabric harvesting. That came up on the Me Made May podcast episodes, which I'll link below, that I listened to. I talked about harvesting fabrics from things you didn't wear anymore, and using like a sleeve that was still in good condition and attaching it to a different top. And I've been seeing a lot of things about sort of turning a dress into a top if you don't want the dress anymore, that sort of thing. So this is why I don't think a fabric ban is the answer. What I think is the answer is making sure I select things to sew that fit with the season that I'm feeling, rather than just because it's lovely. And so this step on from it feels like me, but does it feel like me for this season? So it's even more refining the choosing of what I buy, down to what was a huge big like it I love all these lovely things, down to I love these things but do they feel like me, now down to I love these things, do they feel like me, and do they fit with how I want to feel in this season. So it's refining and refining and refining down. And there will be the occasion where I'll buy something that's for a future season, but I do want to make sure that my stash works for me whatever season I'm in. I know some people put their winter fabrics away. I'm keen not to do that to stop me overbuying. So I want to be able to see them and to plan ahead. I have got my fabrics sorted by type, but now I wonder if I should sort them by, I don't know, colour or colour type. Who knows? This is the start of many thoughts. So you can go and watch some of my other vlogs. If you haven't watched my colour one, watch that one. But what I'd love to know is, do you find that particular colours make you feel a certain way at a certain time? Do you swap your wardrobe over? And what's your Me Made May pledge? Catch you soon. Bye.